What's going on, miners? Chump Change XD here. Hope you're all staying healthy, having a great day. Today, I want to go over my solar setup and how I have things going to the trailer and just kind of talk about things a little bit because you guys seem to like that video. So what we have right now is 20 panels. They're all 100-watt panels. I have 4 of them in one section on a fence post, and then I kind of took a, this is like a light pole topper or something, right? And I ended up drilling a set screw into it and tapping it so I could actually pinch it to the light post. Then I put an adjacent light post, fence post across the top with U-bolts kind of just chilling there, right? So I could actually angle it up and down, and then I could spin it left and right. Now, all these units are going down. They're wired along the ground. This one goes up to this one. They connect in parallel and then come down over to this combiner box. Those are the only two that are actually tied together. Everything else comes directly over to this combiner box itself. And yeah, then this thing feeds everything directly to my trailer. So let's look inside here real quick. Show you guys what it looks like. It's literally just a bunch of fuses, breakers, all that stuff. Everything looks good, as you can see. This is all wired from the factory. All you do is make these connections right here. Now let's get into the trailer. Let's see what we're getting for solar as of today, because you guys can see the shadow on the ground is how I gauge how much sunlight I'm actually getting, and that's when I'll come out here and I'll end up pushing this down or turning it left or right to make this shadow as big as possible to get the best yield. So let's see what we're getting right now in the trailer. So this is my solar trailer. I got it over here kind of out of the way, so just in case anything happens, like a fire or something, because I get a lot of comments, people saying stuff in the chat about these batteries, right? I was going to put them in my house, obviously that's not a great idea, but these batteries right here are actually BMS modulated, so I don't have to worry about them like shorting each other out. They actually will balance the cells inside internally, and I got them all fused off separately. So I got like each section, you know, it's 4 there, 4 there, 4 there, and 4 there. I have 1600 watts of, or amp hours rather, of power here. There's actually 3 batteries here. There's a 200 amp hour, and then I got 2 other 100 amp hours, but they're all going into this bus bar, right? And they're all yeah, protected by this fuse and yeah, everything else. But nonetheless, just wanted to let you guys know these are all BMS modulated, so they are not going to affect each other, and they've been running like this for about 1.5 years at this point. All right, we're looking like 26.4 volts on the batteries. As you guys know, I just got these 10 KS0s up and mining in this solar trailer all by themselves, right? This thing will kick on at 8 a.m. and shut off at 5 p.m. These will kick on at 6 a.m. and shut off at 6 p.m. So 12 hours here, about 10 hours there. And I'm making about $5 or so a day with just these 2 things running and being able to still charge my batteries before the night is over. All right, let's check what the panels are actually providing. We have 76 volts, 8 amps as of right now, 7 amps. Or so, and then 1.32 kilowatts, so that's 1320 watts basically, and that is plenty to provide the power for all of these, because you guys can see I'm pulling almost 800 watts here, pulling 7 watts there is for the Wi-Fi connection, and then we have 192 here for the 2 laptop bricks and those 2 units. So just under 1,000 watts, still able to charge with about 300 or so watts to the battery bank, so that's pretty awesome. Now this unit, guys were asking me about why don't I add more solar panels and all that. Now I cannot add any more solar panels on this unit. This unit right here is a GrowWatt unit. This is a 3,000 watt GrowWatt all-in-one unit. So it has the charge controller and inverter all in one. So I don't have to worry about like wiring additional parts, right? It was basically just battery bank set up to this thing, solar panels set up to this thing, and then you're good to go. I do have a full setup video if you guys want. Go check it out. It might be on a smaller scale and not so many batteries, but it is still there and kind of teaches you how to go through it. Anyways, you can get a second one of these and put it in parallel, and I could actually wire them together to put out 240 volt instead of having to feed the PSU, the server PSU right there with 120 volts, because you guys know that thing's actually more efficient on 240 volts because there is less resistance. If you can see right there, it shows you 1200 watts max, that's feeding with 240, and about 900 watts on 120. So yeah, I would love to get a 240 volt system in here, but my thoughts around that is I don't know exactly what I want to get. I don't know if I want another GrowWatt unit or if I want to get one of those EG4 units. I don't know if you guys have seen them, the 6,000 kilowatts. They're good for like 12,000 watts of solar panels. As you know, this thing's maxed out, I think, at about 1,800 watts of solar panels. And you guys know I have 2,000 out there in the field. The 2,000 actually has like a 10% degradation, so you don't actually get the full 2,000. You get about 1,800 watts of solar panels maximum, and then obviously you got a minus the amount you lose from the traveling in the wire, right? So under 1,800 watts is typically what this thing will get with all 2,000 solar panels out there. And then, you know, over time, as they get dirty, as they get used, they do lose steam overall. So, I mean, dead of summer, I will definitely see about 1.7. I have never seen any higher than 1.7, but 1.3 for springtime is actually really good. So I'm excited about that. So now, would I do anything differently if I could do this all over again? Yes and no, right? The unit itself, I would have purchased a bigger unit that was still probably the 24 volt setup. Now 24 volts versus 48 volts, and I'll go over the battery bank here in a second. That is way less dangerous than a 48 volt system, right? 48 volts, you get hit the wrong way, that could definitely take you out. 24 volts, it's gonna hurt a bit, but you're probably not gonna die from it, right? Like there's just a little bit more risk with the 48. Hopefully you wouldn't get cooked from that, but I mean, you could, right? Yeah, the 48 volt system made me a little nervous, so I never wanted to go that route. But now that I'm a bit more comfortable putting stuff together and I kind of understand it a bit more, I think I'd be able to handle it. The other reason I actually went with this, and would I change my mind would be a no, is because I can actually put these units in parallel and I could run two of these things and double the amount of solar coming in, and obviously put out 240 volts instead of 120 volts just from this guy, right? So that's obviously a plus, and I did keep that in mind when I was going to purchase this unit. On the other hand, the price of this unit is way more expensive than some of the other units. Growatt is actually a good brand as far as I know. I do really want to try that EVG4 unit or EG4 unit, because I heard Signature Solar is actually a fantastic brand as well, but I haven't had any issues with this unit. Besides like my stupidity, this thing dying or whatever, the battery bank draining is what it is. That's like literally all just learning curve stuff. And then the other thing you guys got to understand is like solar being worth it, right? Like doing this setup, I mainly did this to get my toes wet with solar and be able to put this into my camper at some point, right? To do some sort of like off-grid living, because I do have some land up north that I could bring my trailer to and just leave it there. And if I had power, hey, look at that. I don't need to plug in anywhere or run a generator, right? That's super annoying. So that is the main reason I went with a system that I could eventually put into my camper. And I just started messing around with the crypto miners because obviously I have a YouTube channel that does crypto mining, and it just kind of all jived together, and it kind of satisfied both my needs for what I wanted to do here. So to be honest, I really don't think I would do anything different. But yeah, I do need to figure out what I want to do. Let me know if you guys think the EG4 unit would be a good choice. I'll leave a picture right here on the screen so you guys can see what it is. And then yeah, I'll just have to obviously figure out these batteries, because right now I have a 24 volt system and these are all wired in 24 volts. If you can see right here, actually I'll just show it quick. You can see the negatives. I actually pounded a piece of copper flat and I drilled holes in it to make my own little bus bar, right? Ended up connecting these two. So I have two batteries in series and then two batteries in parallel, okay? So those two batteries back there connect the same way these do, right? You take the 12 volts, go from the positive to the negative, feed it into another 12 volt battery. The discharge is gonna be 24 volts. So this side right here, I have the negative connected back there, and then the positive going up to the bus bar connected right here. So it evenly distributes all four batteries, and I have every shelf here on the rack lined up and set up exactly the same into four separate feeds, as you can see. So that's how I got this thing entirely set up. Again, go check out that initial setup video if you guys are interested, but let me know what you guys think about this overall. I'm just rambling and yeah, thinking about what I want to do in here. You guys have a great day. Go enjoy the sun. It is beautiful out today. I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.